as Judge, as they pick up in a man, and they've played a lot of man, they will go a little 1-3-1. They'll run a little 1-2-2. But generally through this tournament, we've seen a whole lot of man from them. What are they going to do with the block-to-block screens and the high-low action of South Summit with McKee and Wolstenhume as they work together down underneath? How do they switch those screens? How do they pick them up? Do they get through them? And then watch the backside as that action's going on. A lot of times there's going to be a pin down on the backside to do something with Lashy to get him open while that's going on your front court and right ball side. And that's going to be interesting to watch, Judge, because a lot of times you don't have to worry about that backside action as much. But here in this game, I think you're going to see that. And there's some back screens that will take place as they lift high. So on that high-low, as they lift high, they'll drop somebody back down off of that for a cut on that backside. So see how Judge guards that. On the other side, how do you stay in front of JJ?
It's the million-dollar question, is it not?
And how you do it is you've got to give space and you've got to have help. So you've got to be able to decide how that help looks. Are you going to bluff? Are you going to come clear over? Are you going to swipe? You've got to bring help. And do you pack line it in just a little bit so then that way you can get in there? Teams, you've got to stay. You can't let him just do his thing. But if you help off, you better know who you're helping off of, because if it's off Cecito, you're in big trouble.
Very big trouble.
If it's off of Ishmael and he's shooting like he did the first night, you're in monster trouble. And Dang last night, I think, had 4 threes and a heck of a ball game. So JJ gets it going, and his ball handling's awesome, but how do you stay in front of him and then make sure you don't get too far into your help?
Teams coming out here from the tunnel, the pageantry, the lights, the smoke. Here at the Sevier Valley Center, it's the 3A Boys State Championship. If you're just joining us, number 1 South Summit and number 10 Judge Memorial, here live from Litchfield. Tanner Wilkinson and Dustin Shakespeare with you. Want to kind of backtrack for a minute, Dustin. Again, with the pageantry of this and the coaching, you have to make adjustments to that in your routine and lineup. Tell us a little bit about your brothers played in multiple state championships just last year. What was your brother Devin's routine heading into that game a year ago?
You know, being able to speak to the exact routine right now is probably not as clean, but a lot of it is what you do to come out, make sure your guys get recognized. You love that they announce everybody, and you have to work through that piece. And so this piece you prepare them for, saying, hey, it's going to take a little bit longer, so don't stress that. Don't get too busy into that. Be excited, raise your hand. And then once we get to the next piece, when we're announcing the lineups, then flip your switch. This needs to kind of go dull for just a minute. The stuff earlier is all the same exact stuff. It's all the same. However you prepare your team, you have your same warm-up routine. You do your hallway work, get out on the floor, and move through that. There is a piece of reminding high school kids of your game plan. And so you've got to have, and I was referring to them as triggers, but you have a piece to where, hey, right now, this is where we're at, and you remind them of those couple keys that, hey, this is how we're going to help on JJ. This is how we're going to make sure that we get out and get up the floor under control. I think tonight, one thing we haven't talked a lot about, I think tonight's not going to be as much about transition. A lot of the games you and I do, we talk a lot about transition. I'll be interested to see. I could very well be wrong, but I don't know if transition scoring will be as much of a play as bench play. I think bench play for both teams will factor more heavily than transition play.
You're playing 3 games in 3 days. Your depth is more important now than it has been at any point in the season. So Judge Memorial getting announced here. One thing I do love about this too, as a former manager, a manager man, love that the managers get the love. Everyone involved in the program, from assistant coaches to every player on the roster to the managers, get announced. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to run a program and to get to these state championship games.
It's key, because practices don't run the same without great managers. If you don't have great managers there, running the clock, knowing the practice schedule, knowing to get drilled through your drills, then it slows down your practice. And if that's going down, it can't get better. I mean, it takes a lot more work to get better. These guys that all just raised their hand and stepped forward for Judge, and now we're going to get it for South Summit. They're getting their hands raised in a different way here than we ever get to see. And they're the ones that make those starters be able to be starters and to be at this level.
So here's something interesting about that. So post-game with this girls game, I interviewed Abby Albrecht, who had a phenomenal season. Her defense in this tournament was absolutely spectacular, taking charges, blocking shots, altering shots, boxing out and rebounding. I told her it was one of the best postseason defensive runs that I've seen in my 4 years doing this. I asked her, how did you get to this point? You know what she said? Practicing against Nicole Willardson every day in practice, who's now a Division I basketball player. That really does make the difference. Iron sharpens iron.
It does, and you've got to have those guys, and they've got to come out and just be willing to battle. Like you said, for Abby, she had the opportunity against Nicole, and then she's had her teammates this year coming in, and those underclassmen, and just forcing her to get better, and then they have to give every second in practice, and if they don't, you can't get to this level.
Absolutely. The example was right before us, and now we're going to get to see it again here tonight. South Summit and Judge Memorial here just moments away. We'll have our starting lineups. Kind of a different starting lineup routine than maybe yours too if this is your first state championship game tuning in. They announce one starter at a time from each team. They'll meet, give a little fist bump in the middle, and then again, it goes one at a time. So just again, for anyone out there maybe not familiar with the routine of this, that's how that's going to work. Again, South Summit comes in the number one team in the RPI, 21-3 in the regular season, 7-1 in Region 13. 7-3 in Region 13. Meanwhile, Judge Memorial again 11-13. They went 5-1 in Region 14 with their lone loss to American Heritage, who South Summit played 3 times and beat 3 times. So when you look at common opponents, that's really it for these two teams. Just the way that American Heritage scheduled this year, Judge scheduled this year.
Yeah, they did an excellent job. They knew they had a great group this summer. I had heard that they had a great group, and they scheduled tough. And I like the approach. Let's not worry about seeding. Let's worry about how are we getting better and what's going to give us our best chance to get to this game.
And Coach Calabret's certainly done that. Starting for Judge Memorial, we'll go back and forth on these two guys. Number 11, Ayman Ishmael, who averages 6 points a game, but he shot it dang well in this tournament. Going to be fun to watch tonight. Logan Wolstenium, the junior, 22 points per game, had an unbelievable near triple-double yesterday. 10 for 10, or he was 13 of 14 at the foul line in that game yesterday. Starting as well, number 4, the Judge Memorial Bulldogs, number 13, Deniz Al-Akba, 6 points a game, 38% from 3. Very calming presence out there on the floor, kind of a point forward type guy. Number 34 for South Summit, the long Gage McKee, who put a lot of work in this offseason to get stronger, be a little bit more physical in his game, and that's paid off here in the senior season. Back to Judge, starting number 12, Dang Dang. You mentioned a big key to why they won that game last night. He was phenomenal, 6 points a game on the year. Bracken Lashy, the forward for South Summit, 10 points a game for the senior, was the team's starting quarterback. He's got that good vision out on the basketball court as well, but he's also had a hot stroke from all over the court here in this tournament. Judge Memorial will start number 5, JJ Apopjang, the junior, 20 points, 8 boards, 4 assists per game. You could argue the best player in 3A from top to bottom from a talent perspective. He will get the start as expected. Number 15, Cam Harris, the best three-point shooter on this team. Richfield did a good job taking him out of the game plan yesterday, but he still hit a few nice mid-range shots. Will be interesting to see how he is used tonight and how Judge defends him. And the sharpshooter for Judge, speaking of best shooters on the team, probably the best shooter in this tournament, especially on the boys' side. Aiden Cicero, the senior, 18 points, 46% from 3. And then we'll go with Britton Wolstenium, the senior point guard, the steady hand for the South Summit Wildcats. Again, Wildcats coached by Norman Hayter in his first season. And the Bulldogs coached by Sanjin Kolovrat, as he has built a program up there on the hill in Salt Lake City.
You get into what we hope, these championship games, 1-2 possession games. It comes down to simple things like getting the ball in bounds and not having your coach have to call a timeout. Simple things like not getting a 10-second call. All the other fun stuff that's an extra detail doesn't mean anything if you can't take care of those fundamentals of good baseline out of bounds screening and execution and not getting a moving screen.
Jump ball coming up here. South Summit in the home whites with the green trim and green numbers. Judge Memorial in their road reds. with the gold trim and numbers as we are set to get underway here at the 3A State Championships live from Richfield.
Judge's heavy offensive tip. See what that looks like.
Tip goes back, and it's won by Judge Memorial, even though McKee wins the tip.
They figured he was going to win it, and they watched enough that they knew they were going to kick. He was going to kick it back.
Al-Bakbas high gives right side to a Pathjang. Jab step, Lashy starts with the assignment on him. It's Ishmael for three, good. And the hot shooting continues from the sophomore.
Oh, you see that penetration out of JJ, and he just be so unselfish. He loves to drive, draw two, and kick.
Lashy on the baseline, gives inside, pump fake from Molstenhume. He'll take it strong for two, picking up right where he left off.
That's your block to block. Gage McKee setting a great block screen and got him open.
A Pathjang with it up top. Again, Lashy, that's his opening assignment here. He'll look to attack, send it up top, Ishmael. Open three again, in and out, rebound McKee.
Right now, South Summit diving heavy on JJ and leaving Ishmael open.
Harris with it up top, and we're going to get a foul inside on Al-Bakbas. Logan inside posting.
It's impressive watching that develop as you can see him tie up just a little bit, and as he comes around, he starts just kind of getting a little bit more dramatic as he moves through to that block screen.
Sold it well. Lashy sends it in the corner. Harris baseline now. Wolstenhume. Logan takes it to the bump inside. Dang, the assignment on him. He'll send it back out. Harris. Britton Wolstenhume, 26 on the shot clock here.
At the reset, out of that 1-4 high, they've got a lot of time to get their movement going. Here comes the high-low action.
Wolstenhume pumps, gives inside McKee. Gage lowers the shoulder, turns, banks, shoots, and scores. That's that strength I was telling you from last year to this year.
He's gone to work on, and that was great ball movement, but he's able to get open because everybody's keeping their guys occupied, and then that high-low gets the post entry.
Ishmael will take another straight on three, hit it. They've left him open now, and then he's hit 2 of 3.
McKee didn't even step out. He kind of wandered up next to him and like, hey, go ahead. He shot the ball just like this 2 days ago.
6-4 now in the lead, and an offensive foul, illegal screen here on South Summit.
Dove down into that ball screen, and you could see it was just sloppy. Went ahead and got way too aggressive trying to keep Akbas from coming around it.
So it'll be side out of bounds here for Denise Al-Bakbas and Judge Memorial.
Should have a high ball screen coming up for JJ right here.
Lashy out here on him high. Ishmael the screen. They pick and pop it. Ishmael will take it again and hit it again. He's now 3 of 4.
Coach Colrat seeing the way they're playing Ishmael, he put that high ball screen into place knowing they would suck down on JJ on the drive and giving Ishmael another 3.
Left side, Wolstenhume with it. Backdoor lob and the hammer from Gage McKee. And had a couple of those early in the week.
Beautiful back screen to set him up. Without that back screen, he doesn't get that awesome lob.
9-6, fun start here. A Pathjang sends back Ishmael. Another wide open triple. Good again. His 4th of the ball game. In this quarter, timeout to Coach Hader.
They had a game plan on how they were going to guard. They better change it.
That's a probably good call. We'll take a quick break on the TeamHive.live, ETV, and KSLSports.com. So Amen Ishmael was 4 for 4 in the first half against Emory from 3. I think he finished 4 for 4. Emory made some adjustments. Well, he's 4 for 5 to start this one, 12-6 in favor of Judge.
South Summit digging hard down with the help with having Gage McKee help and leaving him wide open. See if they make a change on who's going to guard Ishmael.
Backdoor Lashy takes it up and in. Nice finish with the left hand.
Like that out of timeout play right there. That was beautiful.
Dang, killer crossover to the rim. No, rebound inside by Wolstenhume.
And that was that transition that I didn't know how much we'd see. That one was a good transition effort. Just not able to fall in.
Lashy pumps. We're looking lob there. Now goes corner to Wolstenhume. Logan's going to get it into McKee. McKee again in the post with Dang. Pumps, sends out Lashy. Right wing 3 up. Buckets Bracken Lashy for three.
Post player that can draw. He just used the dribble. He knew he wasn't going anywhere. He just wanted to draw two. As soon as he did, he kicked it to his teammate.
Sacedo for three. Buckets on the other way.
Wrapping around JJ. And man, these teams are good, but just good teamwork right there. Sacedo patient. He hasn't needed to shoot, but that time wraps around, uses his teammate to get open.
15-11 Judge. 4:25 left here in the first. Lashy catches high, right side Wolstenhume. Britton gives up top. Harris, three. Buckets the other way. Cam Harris.
Their ground screens are just almost to the junction. They're not all the way down, but that's able to get him open.
Dang pumps, drives, and is fouled. And we'll have the second team foul here on South Summit. First sub here for Judge. They're going to put in Longar Alor.
Alor really does a nice job off the bench for Judge. He brings a physical presence that changes the way that they're able to guard. And he can hit the three. Yesterday, I think he got two of them.
Okay. Wasn't really part of his game in the Emory game.
No, he didn't need to. Everybody else was knocking him down.
That's a good point.
Yesterday, he showed he could.
Dang Dang at the line, hits the first of two, 55% on the year for Dang Dang. Boston Wolstenhume and Mitchell Gempler in. Britton Wolstenhume, Cam Harris will sit here.
Boston Wolstenhume brings somebody a little more physical on the guard line to guard. He can stay in front of most anybody, and he's just physically strong. And then you bring in Mitchell Gembler, like you said. He is an enforcer.
Yeah.
Dude plays hard.
Very hard player. One more for Dang, 16-14, 17-14. What a fast pace to this one. This is usually what you see at the end of a quarter. We're midway through the first quarter.
Oh, Alordis tagged McKee. He was setting a presence, and he got called for it. That's a great call.
So that'll be the second team foul here on Judge Memorial.
Just wanted to let him know, and that you teach him, you got to catch the post and push him off. Or may have taken it to 4 more steps past that.
Baseline here for Lashy, defended by Amen Ishmael.
Watch for the corner three coming for Lashy.
Deflection, now Lashy right on cue, corner three, off. Rebound, Gempler inside, sends it up to Wolstenhume. Logan's floater, off front rim, back rim in. 17-16.
Nice job by Gembler to be able to get that kick over to him.
A path
pushing
change.
Left, hard.
Sends up top Ishmael, close out hard, miss. Long rebound to Dang. Right side looks to drive on Boston. Now Lashy called for the reach here on JJ Apathyang.
That last possession right there, Lashy just pinned in the slot, and you don't generally see a pin in the slot, but he pinned him and was basically asking JJ to go left.
Sacedo gets it into Ishmael. He'll cross, give up top to Alor, hand off Apathyang. Comes off the screen, Wolstenhume picks him up, right side. Boston moving his feet well, killer cross from Apathyang, off the window, no, rebound Wolstenhume.
Able to just push him out just far enough that it rims off. Nice defense on the switch, able to just catch him and push him out.
Boston goes left side, McKee. Gage out on the perimeter. Now back up top, Lashy. Right side, Boston. Will give in the corner, back to McKee, cuts inside Gempler. Will turn, lower the shoulder, bank, shoot and score. Nice contribution from Mitchell Gempler.
That's that bench play we're talking about. If Gempler can do that for South Summit, that's a huge plus.
Lead back to the Wildcats. Alor for three, that's no good. Lashy with a great rebound, tapping it to himself using his length.
If you're South Summit, that gamble compared to Ismail, when you're helping off, much better numbers-wise.
McKee with it on the left side, gives up top Lashy. Bracken with it. Going to give left side Boston Wolstenhume. He'll go back corner McKee. Gage, 16 on the shot clock in the corner, goes Logan. Right wing. Right hand dribble, crosses, spins, draws the double, gives to McKee baseline. He'll take it inside to Gempler, take it up for two. Excellent block shot by Ismail.
Yeah, just waited for him on that help side.
Sacedo goes corner Dang, and a foul on Boston Wolstenhume, and Boston took the worst of that one, but he reached in first.
Yeah, Dang just kind of followed through after he had gotten hit early. You can see here on this nice replay as they sloughed down in, just got tagged.
Yeah. Oof.
So traded blow for blow, but the call goes on. Boston, right? Yeah.
Picked up 5. He fouled out. Keep that in mind. Had some foul trouble yesterday against Richfield.
You're seeing a little pushing and shoving going on, not recognizing what's going on. That's Gempler. He'll engage with that. And Cito, he wasn't scared either.
No.
And that's those simple things of staying managed emotionally.
Yeah.
You can't allow that to take you out of your game. understanding some of those little pops will happen.
Left-hand dribble here
Look at
from
that pin.
That's is unbelievable. The little runner for two. It's strong. Tap by Lashy. Bracken's got it. Now out in transition. He's fouled by Ishmael. And he's fired up.
So I'm changing some of my piece there. Transition is working out for both teams right there in transition, pushing hard, draws that foul on Ishmael. That was a good job by Lashy to push up the floor and draw that foul.
Gives it in right side. Logan Wolstenhume back to Lashy straight away. Boston. Lashy now on the right side, guarded by Ishmael. Goes middle to McKee. Power dribble, lowers, spins, pumps. Sends it back out to Gempler. Still 24 on the shot clock. Lashy takes it baseline, sends it out. Dangerous pass. Gets to Boston. Now Logan. Spin move by Logan. Push shot for two. Off the rim and in again.
They switched their high-low and brought McKee up and out and allowing Logan to go to work down there because of Lore's size. Pulled him out and away.
Apatcheng, the runner, no good. The length of McKee bothering him.
And the pinning to the left side has changed, JJ. We haven't seen this in this tournament, and it's a great adjustment that we're seeing taking place.
Boston Wolstenhume drives, forces the shot. Rebound Logan, turns, shoots, no. Gets his own rebound, sticks it back up and in for two.
And you talked about the tournament Logan's had, and right there, huge 2 offensive rebounds.
The drive from Apatcheng, that one goes on the right side, Dustin.
He stayed on the right side all the way down the floor. He is so good. That ball, the way it moves in his hands is just so fun to watch.
Under a minute to play here in the first quarter, 3A state championship. Boys basketball. Boston Wolstenhume gives to Logan left side. Backdoor cut, reverse. Lashy just couldn't quite get that one to go.
No, that was a pretty back cut and good off-ball movement.
Skip to Ishmael, wide open triple. No, rebound to McKee.
There's a little confusion in transition right there as Boston had played too far over. McKee not coming out on the scramble. Almost hurt him, but they're able to manage. No shot clock here.
Wolstenhume left side, 3-point lead for South Summit. Lashy now at the Snow College S, right side Boston. Gives it to Logan Lowe on the right wing. Logan's gonna post with 7, with 6, take the shot, no, rebound. And here comes JJ with 3, with 2, from midcourt with 1, short. So we played a quarter. It was a fun quarter. We got 3 more to go. South Summit 22, Judge Memorial 19. Second quarter action next on TeamHive.live, ETV, and KSLSports.com.
For more than 3 decades, the Intermountain Power Project has served as a model of regional energy cooperation, generating and transmitting coal-fueled electricity to a diverse group of municipal utilities and rural electric cooperatives with operations across 6 U.S. states. Now Intermountain Power is expanding its role as a regional energy hub, including utilizing renewable energy resources. Intermountain Power is proud to support and invest in our central Utah communities. Visit IPAUtah.com to learn more about IPP Renewed.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
A packed house here at the SBC on the campus of Snow College in Richfield. South Summit 22, Judge Memorial 19. Your thoughts on that first quarter?
Transition, a lot more of a factor than I expected, and that's going to bring more bench play in as you see Peak come on the floor. We already saw South Summit go into their bench, and so they are pushing on it. The other thing is, I love the adjustment by South Summit to pin JJ to his left. You can see that's impacting. See if they can stay focused on that and get him over here on the left side of the floor.
Same starters, or the starting lineup in for South Summit here, as Wolstenhume's got it, gives left side to Britton. Britton with the right-hand dribble, guarded by Apatcheng. Right side, Lashy. Gives it to Wolstenhume. He'll turn, spin, foul, count the bucket. Death taxes and Logan Wolstenhume on the block. My goodness, what a tournament this kid's had.
They do a good job defensively. He catches up on the junction, and Peak's got him. But as he leans over away from the basket, Peak overshifts, and that sent him right down the middle. So good spin move, and nice job by Gage McKee staying out of the way. He at one point in time actually held his hands up like, I'm not sure which movement we're doing. Logan showed him, hey, stay out of the way, keep your guy busy.
And a rare miss from Logan. He went 13 of 14 in yesterday's win over Richfield.
Now the law of average is a little bit nasty, so kind of brought him back probably to his
24-19, 7:28 to go. Open Saucedo triple. Dangerous, off the rim, no. McKee taps it and rebounds it.
I expect to see they'll go right back to that pick and roll action as they hedged extremely hard, leaving Saucedo open, and he doesn't miss much.
Right side, McKee with it, trying to get that in to Logan, defending tightly. There's a little bit of battle going between Logan and Peak.
Well, so far, Peak's kept his hands out and away, using his chest. Oh, he got tagged.
As Britton runs into a wall there.
Lord jump in the lane, and he instead jumped through. As doing a nice job right there. Britton going to the ball. If he doesn't chase after that ball, he doesn't get nailed like that.
Ball goes inside to McKee. McKee lowers the shoulder strip, gets it back, turns, hooks, scores. Gage McKee with a great presence here early. South Summit extends their lead to 7.
And he had to go through Allure. Allure didn't back off any and give it to him.
Again, that doesn't happen a year ago. McKee
Nice.
put a lot of time in the weight room.
Yes, nice pass into him. Oh,
Tough three. JJ Apatjang straight on triple. Lead back down to 4 for South Summit.
so quick as he pops out right there and gives himself space.
Bob Britton over, left side Logan. Guarded out front by Peak. Peak, that's been a battle here in the second quarter. McKee gives back to Harris. Thought about the three, gives back to Lashy. Bracken looks to make things happen. Drive, send out Harris. Low catch, sends to the corner McKee. Now Logan Wolstenhume on the left block. Turnaround, 18-foot J. That's no good. Rebound to Apatjang.
Peak doing a nice job on him right there, just keeping him up and away from the basket. There's that pinning action.
Send him left. Allure open three. No good. Apatjang gets the offensive rebound. Post back out. Allure not afraid to take another and hits that one.
And he showed that last night. You can't you can't back off of him that far. He can shoot it. And they've got to identify. They're running JJ into McKee, but McKee's got to be able to get out and guard once in a while, or otherwise they're going to hit more threes.
Lashley looks to attack off the dribble, gives to Gage. He'll take the 18-foot jumper. That's exactly what Judge wants him to do.
That's what I was going to say. The defense has pushed them out into these 15-foot shots.
Apatjang, crazy handles. Allure, three for the lead. Got it. And just like that, Judge back in front. A 9-0 run from Judge Memorial on threes.
JJ working that right side and getting enough penetration to where it just leaves Allure wide open, and he's a catch and shooter.
Turnover, going the other way.
Momentum all Judge right now is their defense built into their offense. They've been able to force South Summit into those tough twos, and that's got them going here on the other side.
Alp Akbus checks back in for Judge Memorial. We'll see Boston Wolstenhume along with Mitchell Gempler here for South Summit.
Great minutes off the bench right there for Judge.
Apatjang sends corner, open three on the way. Alp Akbus no, rebound Wolstenhume.
And that time they're just packing in so heavy, wanting to make sure they don't let JJ get his 31 points he might get. It works.
Left angle, Logan. Now Lashy right side, guarded by Ishmael, goes on the block, Logan spins, turns, shoots. Looking like Dirk Nowitzki out there, a little one-legged shot, ties us at 28.
And I like the duck down. Not a duck in, but he ducked down and then came back to the ball to get that Dirk move going.
Apatjang, Lashy again, very designing him to go left, sends it corner. Ishmael for three, good contest by Wolstenhume, rebound. Alp Akbus, Saucedo, no. Foul going to be the other way on Judge.
Yeah, Judge has gotten a few hands in their backs and got away with a couple of those through the possession. That time right there, he didn't actually put a hand in the back. He just cleared him sideways, as you could see on that replay. And so the momentum's starting to shift just a little bit back to South Summit as they've been able to kind of gather themselves defensively and get some stops.
28-28, 4:12 to go before halftime. Ball goes left side. Oh, Ishmael anticipates that beautifully. Now in transition to the rim. No, great job by Boston to get back. Deflected out of bounds by Saucedo. It'll be South Summit basketball. Give Boston Wolstenhume his flowers right there.
Textbook run through. He understood he's fast. He understood that Ishmael would have to bring the ball to the middle. 80% of guys do. He takes it, gives it enough contest, makes the miss. Love the effort by Boston, and that's that bench play. He brings that energy and just heads up.
Wolstenhume, right side, gives to McKee. Lashy trying to post now. They go back to Boston, now into Lashy. Lashy turns, shoots, short. Rebound to Ishmael.
Ishmael able to dig underneath him a little bit and knock him off balance.
Apaucheng crosses, deflected by Lashy. Now with the left hand to the right, killer cross between the legs. Unbelievable move by JJ Apaucheng.
When he reached and tapped it, he forgot that he was supposed to pin. As soon as he forgot, he went flat, and JJ said, oh.
Thank you.
Yep.
30-28, Judge back up 2. Left side, McKee. Gage with the basketball, gives left side Gempler. Now up top, Lashy. Right side to Boston. They feed McKee low, guarded by Dang. McKee pumps, turns, shoots, banks, and scores. Beautiful footwork.
That was nice post entry to get him to catch there in just 6 feet, and then he went to work. No help came.
Apaucheng, step back, difficult 3, short. Rebound, Lashy.
Lashy, the switch with Lashy guarding him has been really effective. They've found a way that you can actually stay with JJ.
Logan Wolstenhume left side, guarded by Akbus. In the corner, Gempler bounces low into McKee. McKee lowers again. Power dribble, shoot, score. My goodness.
Used his off shoulder to keep enough space and no backboard. That is a tough, it's not a true hook.
And we're going to get a block inside on Logan Wolstenhume. That's going to lead to 2 free throws here for JJ Apaucheng.
South Summit faithful, not too sure as Logan went in, and he went to sleep, but he didn't really get hit.
No.
You could see on the replay even more. I wondered initially, but head and shoulders went by, and head and shoulders go by, that equals a block. Good job by the official to see that.
Apaucheng misses the first of 2, 76% on the year. Majak Dang, the junior, going to check in. We haven't seen him a whole lot in this tournament.
No, Coach Colvrat, with the pace of this game, going deep into his bench, and we have not seen a lot of him. See how that impacts. Allure gave great minutes earlier. See what he's able to do as well. And I think they're using him to pick up on McKee, because McKee's come back since he's been out of the game and really scored on him.
0 for 2 at the line. You don't see that often from JJ Apaucheng, and here comes South Summit.
And here comes Allure. Watch him pick him up. Yeah, McKee didn't even go down into the post. There he comes.
Wolstenhume into McKee low. Gage turns, pumps, sends back to Logan. Jab step, dribble, spin, sends to McKee. Pump fakes, lowers the shoulder again, pumps again. Send back Lashy, 10 on the shot clock. Gives it back out to Wolstenhume. Logan loses it. Now into the hands, low, stripped. Akbus fighting with Wolstenhume, and Akbus gets it, and a timeout called. That was really quick.
He was ready to call it. You could see Coach Colvrat was ready to save that possession. He likes that that's one of his strategies.
Let's keep it here, Dustin. Minute 49 to go in the half. Let's go dive into both huddles here. Start with Coach Colvrat and the Bulldogs.
Well, they've obviously know that they want to use Allure on McKee, as when he went out of the game, then McKee was able to get in there and get a couple good, strong finishes, so they bring Allure right back in. On the other side, South Summit, they have used different post players, switching them out, using McKee, using Logan. And then now it was just starting to develop that backside action. We'll see if that comes back now with Allure in. See if they can get something developing on that backside. Fun adjustments coming from both teams. And the bench play, both coaches using and going through. Boston has come in and played really big as he brings a different level of strength. And he can push, take the point, which changes who's bringing the ball down the floor, as I forget who brings it down for him most of the time.
Britton Wolstenhume.
Thank you.
You got you got 3 Wolstenhumes. So when you hear us say Britton, Logan, and Boston, that's why.
And that's where they push Britton off the ball, allow Boston to bring it down, and that does change some things there.
Yeah. Minute 49 to go here in the first half. It's South Summit 32, Judge Memorial 30. As Alp Akbus will bring this one down for Judge.
Go out of a 1-4 high action.
Boston on him. They go left side of Apaucheng. Lashy keeps that assignment. Pump fake, goes to the right, pumps, gets McKee in the air. No call. McKee gets the rebound.
McKee was able to set him back enough that Lashy got some sort of tip on it. Backside help, able to get the miss.
Right side, McKee. Trying to pump. He's
4 out, 1 in.
Yeah. Go right side again. Now in the corner, Lashy with it.
Logan reposting.
Not the best pass. McKee taps it to himself. floats it up for two. No. Rebound to Allure.
Really nice effort by both Allure and McKee to get that.
Spin move and tie up. What a play from Logan Wolstenhume.
Just in enough space to be able to get that hand on the ball and tie him up as he catches the spin coming back in. He's coming down in transition a little late, but it works out nice to catch that spin. Got a little baby triangle with Akbus up there on the junction.
Out of bounds for Apath Jang. Sends it back in to Alp Akbus. Fake from JJ, sends in the corner. Dang for three, no good. Fight for the rebound, Wolstenhume. Good box out to get it. A good look from Majak Dang.
Yeah, Majak, a little different feel you could see as they were able to help off and gamble with him taking that shot.
McKee over on the left side. Under a minute to go in this first half, 3A state championship game. Lashy.
Akbus switched over on to Logan.
Yeah.
He's physically strong. See how that matches up.
Lashy turns, shoots off the back rim and in. Soft touch for Bracken.
And he's had a great tournament. It's been a big step up for his consistency. And right there, not just being a shooter, but a driver as well, making the defense have to be honest.
34-30, final possession potentially here in the first half. Allure pumps back to Apath Jang. Into a tough three. Buckets. 5 seconds left here. Boston Wolstenhume from midcourt lets it fly off the side of the rim. What a first half of basketball. We'll break it down next on our halftime show. South Summit 34, Judge Memorial 33. Halftime is next on on TeamHive.live and KSLSports.com.
Bark is an app that helps families manage every aspect of their children's digital lives. Worried about your 12-year-old stumbling upon something harmful or inappropriate? With Bark, you can block sites and apps. Bark runs in the background, scanning your child's digital activities, and sends you an alert if it detects something you need to know about. While there are lots of options out there, Bark's approach to online safety is one of a kind. You've got this, and Bark's got your back.
Get Bark protection today from Centricom on unlimited family devices. Visit Centricom.com to learn more.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
The Chevy Silverado. With available Super Cruise connected by OnStar. Only Super Cruise lets you drive hands-free and tow hands-free. It'll help you get to the adventure energized, and it'll help drive you home.
Drive yours away this President's Day. Get 2.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,000 total value on this Silverado High Country when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
Alright, this round's almost over.
Hi, I'm Dustin Shakespeare, the Central Region Pathways Coordinator. Do you know what pathways are offered at your high school that connect with Snow College? Students enrolled in career technical education courses can develop valuable real-world technical skills and a strong academic foundation,
Over 630 students completed CTE pathways last year in the central Utah region. Our 35 pathways empower students to explore career options, pursue what they are passionate about, and earn valuable industry certifications. To learn more about these career pathways, talk to your CTE teachers and school counselors today.
South Summit 34, Judge Memorial 33. Appreciate you tuning in with us wherever you may be for this 3A state championship game. What a first half. Tanner Wilkinson, Dustin Shakespeare with you. 34-33. That really tells the story. Brad James' stats also tell some stories, Dustin.
Oh, they sure do. We sure appreciate the Brad father. Really interesting as we work on his stat sheet coming from the right to left. Things pretty balanced as you'd expect. Turnovers 0 to 3. Assists are high, 8 to 10, as both teams passing the ball very well. Rebounding a touch off, as we knew South Summit had been rebounding a little better. They're up by 6, 17 to 11. But the thing that pops your eyes as you come across this is Judge Memorial has shot 20 threes, 20 of them. They've made 9, 45%. So, I mean, you don't stop. At 45%, you keep shooting those threes. But it's pretty wild. And then South Summit has only shot 4, and they've made 2, so they're at 50%. You know that their game's inside. You know they love the high-low. You know they love the block-to-block. And so that makes sense. Judge has really worked the pick and pop. They've worked the pick and get JJ downhill and kick, and that has just led to a million threes as they've just kept letting it have it. Neither team shooting a lot of free throws. You've got Judge that's got 4. They're 2 for 4 at 50%. And Summit Academy has shot, South Summit has shot 1.
Wow.
So not a lot of free throws, and that's, the game has flowed well. There's been a lot of physical play. They caught some of those big tags, but from both sides. Both sides, they got a little bit out physically, and they caught those and did that. So we don't have much foul trouble going on. Both teams using the bench well, and we appreciate the Brad father letting us know that. If you want to look at individual points, you're pretty good at that, Tanner.
Oh, I appreciate that, my friend. Well, let's start with the Bulldogs. Amon Ishmael scored the first 12 points of the game, 4 threes. He's 4 of 8 now, started 4 of 5, so he's missed his last 3. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists for JJ Apothjang. Just always doing JJ Apothjang things, really.
So good.
So good. How about Longar Alor? 2 threes, 3 boards off the bench for him. Made an impact both offensively and defensively as well. They liked him much better against Gage McKee.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more of him. He's going to play a lot more, and they found that they can't help off of him either.
Yeah, yep. Over for the Wildcats, leading scorers here at halftime. Logan Wolstenhume, 12 points, 7 boards, 3 assists. Just picking up right where he's left off all tournament long. Really didn't score well against American Heritage. He did these other things, though. They're very characteristic of Logan.
Right, and that's, matchups kind of dictate some of that, and his willingness to understand, I've got a guy on me that's messing me up, and I can get everybody else touches, and that's just great basketball.
Bracken Lashy, 7 points, 3 rebounds. Had a terrific block shot as well. Gage McKee, 10 points, 6 rebounds for the South Summit Wildcats as Judge Memorial's return to the floor here. And again, big shout out to Brad. He's only got one more print he's got to do, and then he can take a break, but he'll be right back here next weekend for 1A, which is his busiest weekend, given how many games. You get 32 teams here in Richfield playing both at here and Richfield High School. So that'll be fun. As if you're not done, we're not done with high school basketball. We're going to be done with 2 and 3A tonight, but a lot more to be played across the state. We appreciate you joining us here for your #1 destination, TeamHive.live. And big thanks to our guy Barrett Hilton. He'll get his flowers here at the end of the broadcast. So
one thing just that we did see on the Brad father is it doesn't spec it clear out, but the field goal percentage of just inside the 3-point line for Judge, they're only 2 for 8. And so shooting it well from outside, but when they've gotten to the rim, they haven't been able to finish, and they've shot a couple of those tough twos. See how that continues to develop in the second half.
2 minutes and 18 seconds to go here before half number 2. Again, if you're just joining us, it's South Summit 34, Judge Memorial 33. So a kind of a game of runs, both teams making different adjustments as things have moved on here. And great crowds both supporting the students here. Students coming down. It's a good drive from Salt Lake or Camas to make it down here to Richfield. Appreciate everyone that's here, and we're glad for those of you that couldn't make the drive that we can bring you that one, this one here. This just, again, has felt like a state championship game all night long. And if it's anything like the second half of that girls' game, Dustin, boy, we've been treated well.
We have. I'm looking forward to seeing the rebounding. If South Summit continues to out-rebound at the pace they have, meaning they're up 6, that really bodes well for them. Neither team has turned the other team over, and we've seen the transition impact fouls. We've seen it get a few buckets, but it hasn't caused any turnovers. Both teams have done just so well taking care of the ball.
Foul trouble, not a big issue for either team in that first half either.
No, they were able to manage their fouls quite well. The Bradfathers got us.
Ishmael was the only one
with the 2 and Allure. And Allure caught those couple early, and then he changed the way he was defending. It was a good adjustment by Allure there to not get himself. And then South Summit, nobody with more than 1, and that's what you want coming out of this. If you're them, you're in a safe place, as long as you just don't get your hands in a place. And they've all done a nice job showing their hands. Definitely done some chest work. Nothing wrong with that. And see what happens tempo-wise to this game. What I wrote down to start this half, Tanner, was pace, because that's going to play a lot, because we see how that's moving. And the bench is feeding that pace. But Allure and Lashy, those are the 2 adjustments that I thought we saw that really made a big difference. As Allure stepped onto McKee, that changed McKee and what they did with him. And then as Lashy changed the way he picked up, they switched him on and he picked up and went pinning JJ left. It changed what JJ does. I mean, he is obviously extremely good, but he's only got 10 right now. See if that changes, if he can get going. But a lot of his get going is sharing the ball too. I mean, he is
a good point,
so unselfish. If he draws 2, he likes to find his guys and they shoot it.
He's already got 6 assists. He averages 4 per game. So
Cecito, maybe see if he gets open. South Summit has been excellent not letting him to see much space.
Inside Lashy, first play of the second half, and good look from Bracken. Falls out, Dang with the rebound.
That was that backside action, getting a nice screen from McKee.
Apatjang, guarded by Lashy, gives back to Cicero up top. Harris on him, shooter on shooter there. Alp Akbus will now drive it. Pump fake, send to the corner. 3 on the way from Dang long. Apatjang's got it, but he threw it right away into Lashy.
Got lucky, and they almost gave it up. Lashy just kind of got a little relaxed. Almost able to jump on the ball there.
Britton Wilston-Hume with it high. Now right side high, McKee. Gage out front, gives to Harris. Harris will pump, give left side to Britton. See what adjustments these coaches make again at halftime. The drive here from Wilston-Hume will turn, shoot, draw the foul. Good job turning, getting that angle, and the contact.
He did. South Summit comes out both possession, running a top curl off the junction, trying to get their guys coming downhill with a catch. And on the 4th time, able to get that one down into Logan's hands. And then you called the rest really nice.
First of 2, Logan 0 for 1 in the first quarter. First one's up and down.
And that is the second on Akbus. As we talked about, everybody's still fine. 2, you're just fine, but see if they're able to drag in and get a couple more of those fouls.
Second one here, Wilston-Hume, good. Next one yesterday, missed his first. Here tonight, goes 2 for 2 there. 3-point lead for South Summit. Apatjang with it up top, guarded by Lash. McKee gives him a little space, now left side. Green from Cicero. Apatjang behind the back dribble, goes killer crossover to the rim with the left hand finish. So fun to watch.
When he gets the ball moving like that, he's just so hard to stop. Elevates and finishes.
Right side, Lashy trying to feed the posting. McKee does. Gage lowers the shoulder, draws the double, fouled. Count the bucket from Gage McKee. Beautifully done.
Yeah, they choose to play behind him with Dang right there as he gets that post catch, and he's working. The help came down from Ismail, but he only lightly dug. And when McKee saw that he wasn't going back out, and that's the thing, you watch McKee as a post player, He's patient. He's not just an auto robot. He'll watch the defense on the help. If the help digs, he passes.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, he goes back to work.
Free throw no good. Judge comes the other way, still a one possession game, and right on cue, Allure comes in, or will come in. Apokjang for three. Good. Ties us at 38.
And right now, both pieces that we saw start the game are coming right back out with McKee getting those catches, and you can, like you said, Allure's coming, and then JJ back to work. Lashley has not been able to slow him down here to start.
They go low to Wolstenhume, back to Harris. Back into Logan. Hesitate, moves, spins beautifully, turns, fouled, will get two more. Beautifully done by Logan Wolstenhume.
But being able to draw these fouls because they're catching mid and high post, and then being able to make the moves right there.
Free throws coming here for Wolstenhume. Tie, break the tie.
Coach Colrat having a conversation with the official. Thought initially he might have been discussing 3 seconds, but now I can't read that exactly.
Yeah.
And there wasn't, so 3 seconds is interesting.
It is.
Once the ball is being played at the hoop, 3 seconds goes away. But otherwise, you got to get both feet out, re-clear, come back in, and then that starts your count over.
Yep. Free throw here for Wolstenhume after he hits the first. Second good. Such a pretty stroke of the line, by the way. 40-38 now, our score, South Summit by 2, under 6 to play, third quarter.
And it's really just been a one possession, two possession game all game long. What a great game.
Apokjang will attack. Oh, that athleticism on the right side, finishes.
He gets the handoff as he comes off. That sends him to his right hand where he's just much stronger. At a half, they have gotten JJ going.
They're going to say over and back. South Summit wanted a deflection. It'll go back to Judge with 5:29 left.
And they get their call. Judge does in place. JJ has been very effective coming off of that handoff. He's over there on that left wing. He's going to come off of another one. Let's see what it looks like.
Ismail gives to Allure. They go to Sacedo. Thought about the three. Well defended by Harris. Apokjang comes off the screen. Lashley goes high. Sends to Allure. Left wing three. Good. Judge back in front. 43-40. Back and forth we go.
Just good team basketball. JJ getting his guys open and hitting them on target.
Left wing, Logan Wolstenhume. Will give to Lashley. Dangerous pass. Bracken recollects, gives Logan. Free throw line extended right wing. Cut by Britton. Pumps, gives to Lashley. He'll pump. Easy deuce. Great sharing the ball by Summit.
Just getting that back cut moving without the ball was huge as he was able to catch that. And then that got Lashley down on that off block.
Into a three, Apokjang, no. Long rebound, Harris. Knocked away by Sacedo, and Wolstenhume's going to take it coast to coast, right to the rim. Foul, count the bucket. Logan Wolstenhume.
Watch this replay, and for those of you listening, what Logan does right there is what you want anybody going to the rim does. He knows that they're coming for him, but he puts his body in the way to where Ismail has to come through him. And the way he does it is he goes underneath the basket to go there, stay strong. What a nice use of his body to protect him, knowing they're coming for him, and that does put 3 fouls on Ismail. And so now he's got the same as the quarter. He can't get another one.
Free throws up for Logan, and he hits it. 45-43, back and forth we go in this third.
South Summit's attack at the basket at start this half has been more drawing contact than we had seen earlier, and it's caused some fouls as Judge has 14 fouls here with 4 minutes left to go. So this time, South Summit.
From Peak is good off the bench out of the corner.
Who on Judge doesn't shoot the K drive?
No matter who's on the floor.
That is awesome. Peak knocking that one down. They really do shoot it well.
Wolstenhume, tough shot for down. Boston with the runner.
Beautiful screen up on top by McKee as he hung up. Nobody switched over on him.
Peak to the basket, sends corner. Open three, Ismail. Buckets. Lead back to Judge.
Love the drift pass right there. Good heads up as the ball was a little loose, and he slipped down into that corner for that drift.
Boston Wolstenhume. Up top, McKee.
That's what it was. He was trying to keep him out of the pick and roll.
Backdoor Lashy, he's fouled on the baseline. Is that on it? That's on Ishmael. Is that his fourth?
It looks like it is on him, and yes, that is his fourth foul. So foul trouble now happening here for Judge.
5 fouls to Judge, none yet on South Summit in this quarter.
And that's a big shooter that they missed right there. They should not have put him in the game. So there's a mess up. I don't think the refs put him in, and Ishmael came right off.
Yeah.
So technically, it was a miss. It was an illegal substitution.
Lashy misses the first of 2.
It happened so fast, I don't think the officials understood that it happened. So, I mean, and it's okay. I mean, it's all it is time of the game, and it didn't matter.
Right.
So.
All the technicalities.
Yes, that's the part, is if I was there and my assistant coach caught it, I would be making sure, hey, that's illegal substitution. Let's get some technical and free throws.
Yeah.
But if you don't see it, it's not hurting the game. He was going to sub in either way.
Yeah. 49-48, still a 1-point lead for Judge Memorial. 3:20 left in the third. Allure up top. McKee's out there. Sacedo, quick trigger, 3, good. Timeout to Judge Memorial. 3:12 left here in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and be back here on TeamHive.live and KSLSports.com.
Are you or a loved one experiencing a mental health crisis? Let us help. Aspen Grove Behavioral Hospital offers no-cost mental health assessments, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have a choice in your mental health care. Insist on Aspen Grove Behavioral Hospital for instant care. Call us today to speak with one of our highly trained mental health professionals. Call 801-852-2273. Or for more information, visit aspengrovehospital.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back on in. Quick score update. Enterprise 46, North Summit 35 in the 2A championship down in Cedar. Wolstenhume looks to attack. Boston with a nice little runner. No. Rebound to Apopjang.
It got physical there on that board. Everybody was pushing everybody. Allure ends up on the ground. Here comes a high ball screen with Allure. He's going to pick and pop.
Apopjang with Allure. They're again forcing him left. Sends to Allure, pumps. McKee's out there on him. Now Apopjang with it. 4-point lead for Judge in possession here, and Apopjang scores it. Lead back to 6 now for Judge.
He's getting to his left hand, and that time the help wasn't there. Generally, when they run him with that left hand, McKee's standing there to help, but this time he's not there and makes an easy one for JJ.
Wolstenhume. Timeout to Coach Hayter. We'll keep this here with 2:21 to go in the third.
Judge going on a nice run, and what kicked it off is Coach Colrath making a nice call to get a little different look to Sacedo, this sharpshooter. Didn't come from JJ. He gets that one, knocks it down, and that gets him in a little bit of a rhythm. Get the big stop on the other end, come back down, and knock down another 3. Those 3-pointers, they are lighting them up, shooting it well, and their patience on whether they use the ball screen or not. And then JJ that time, no help as they pushed him left, and you watch, they are full pin, all left hand, but no help there to change his left-handed shot, and that's able to send him. South Summit's got to make an adjustment, get either the help in place or a little bit differently there, and then of course they've got to manufacture some points, and they've done an excellent job up to this point. And I didn't see if defensively if there's a change. Did you see something, Tanner, there?
I personally didn't notice anything necessarily. They forced a few guys to take some uncharacteristic shots. Boston Wolstenhume's taken some tough shots. They've done a good job on Bracken Lashy. He's been a little bit less effective here in this third quarter. So maybe taking a few of the other guys out of their rhythm.
I like that. That's a good call, and they've definitely changed that. Well, you've got 2 bench players there with Peak and Allure on the floor, and Dang, right. So they've got 3 of their 5 are bench players on the floor here for Judge.
Gempler has come on for South Summit. They go right side Lashy, top to Boston. Very aggressive. Judge Memorial out on the perimeter here. McKee goes Gempler. Swing it left side Boston. They'll go inside. They draw a soft double on Logan. He'll spin baseline, take it up for 2, no. Tipped by McKee, no. Logan gets it back, Pinned too deep. Gempler tips it no. Rebound saved in to Cicero. Wow.
Really nice effort by there to be able to get that ball in. The way that he saved it, he smashed it off the floor to where you could recover defensively if South Summit was able to get that ball. But Judge tracking it down.
Apokjang with it. Crossing. Gives left wing to Dang. Back up top is Majokdang, the one in. Oh, what a move. Apokjang sends out corner three on the way short. And a foul going to be called inside on South Summit. I think on the rebound off the miss.
Yeah, definitely got pushing them in on the back there. We've seen a little bit of that from both teams. Able to see that one. But that time on the scramble, McKee coming out and challenging Peak. Got that miss. Nice hustle out by McKee to challenge that three. Got that baby triangle. Peak's way backing out.
Ball goes back in the corner. A little hesitation there from JJ. Will now rise up and hit.
You can't give him that. Lashy stayed down, and basketball players at JJ's level, if you'll stay down, he'll do that to you.
Left side to McKee. Goes left corner, Gempler. How does South Summit weather the storm here? McKee will look to put it on the floor. He'll attack, get to the rim, fouled, and will shoot two with 1:04 to go.
Like that take by McKee. As you watch Logan move from the right block to the left, that allowed McKee to use his right hand to go in against Allure. And I like that matchup right there for South Summit as they were able to go ahead, clear space, get that third foul on Allure.
Free throw good for McKee. 57-49, 1:04 to go here in the third. That's 3 fouls on Allure, something to keep an eye on.
South Summit needed that basket right there, and to be able to help them start chipping back away as Judge has just brought on this lead, getting up to 8 points.
Next one, no good. Foul inside on Judge.
Violation. Oh, it was.
It's on Allure. My goodness, it'll be his fourth.
Oh, he held. You watch on that rebound, he just locked down with two hands, and just instead of boxing out but you put your butt in front of them and you kind of just hold your space.
Or do they just say
reached in and hit
or do they just say lane violation?
The way he called it must have been lane violation on 33.
So now the free throw goes to Gempler. That makes more McKee.
I saw the fist out, so I went line violation. But then when they reported it, looked like a foul. Didn't it?
Maybe they reported just who the violation was on. Yeah. Apokjang has been a magician here in the third quarter. Power dribble block and a foul on McKee. 2 shots coming here for Judge.
Oh, what a great call right there as you talk about, and we get to watch it on the replay, that magician. So good with the ball. Just has it on a string, plays with it, gets the defense to take a step. And that's, as you watch a ball handler that can see like JJ, he uses that to change the defensive spot to give him a foot. He's got something he's looking for. And as soon as he sees it, he's so fast he's gone.
Misses the free throw. I think he's 0 for 3 now at the line, Dustin.
It's been rough on him.
76% on the year.
Been rough on him.
He'll get one more.
You know,
hits it. 58-50, 49.8 to go here in the third. JJ Apokjang has been phenomenal in this quarter and really all night long for Judge.
13-second difference, so Judge will get another look.
Wolstenhume, deep three from Boston. That's not the shot you need, and it's way off.
And there is no shot clock, and Coach Colverath makes that call. He says, hey, let's get this last one. We've got an 8-point lead. Let's see if we can push it to double digits. They're going to go with a high ball screen. Last time JJ rejected it. See what he does.
18 on the clock here for Apokjang.
They've got Cicito here on the right side, so you got a shooter on the right side, so look for him to maybe reject it. Nope, he takes it.
Gets to the rim for 2, high off the window and in with 7 ticks to go. Boston's got it with 5, with 4, with 3, with 2, lets it fly, and no. So that will end quarter number 3, 60-50. Judge Memorial wins the third round. We got the fourth quarter coming up next here on TeamHive.live and KSLSports.com.
Are you a new CDL license holder? If so, Barney Trucking would like to train and pay you to become a world-class truck driver on state-of-the-art equipment. They also provide you with reliable, courteous support, a fantastic wage, paid holidays, solid benefits, home daily schedules, paid time off, an excellent safety record, and respect. Dependable truck drivers have been Barney Trucking's #1 investment since 1947. Start your outstanding career by applying today at barneyjobs.com. barneyjobs.com. Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Well, Dustin, we're just talking about the offensive action of Judge Memorial. Funny we should talk about it off the air because I just got a text from a listener. It says, Judge Memorial varsity basketball. Question 1, can you knock down a 3? No further questions.
That's right, absolutely. And I would say, can you, somebody gets it to you like JJ. JJ hits you on target, you're willing to do that, it's going down, and they are knocking them down here. Their bench has done a great job for them here through the third quarter as they had to play big.
Apath Jang with it, right side. Majok Dang back to
South Summit using a 1-3-1 right here. Different look we haven't seen out of them.
Ball goes to Sato, switch it. Back in the corner, open 3 for Peak is up. Strong, rebound, foul on McKee as good position there from Majok Dang. Give the kid credit.
Yeah, well, and they got the corner 3 they were looking for. Judge went comfortable, and they just started moving the ball when they identified the 1-3-1. If you can get that baseline runner out of position, a lot of times you can get that corner 3, and that time they did. But Majok Dang recognizing where he needed to go, and that's to the rim. See if he can get a rebound.
Not the best foul shooter, just at 30% coming into this tournament. He'll get one more. One more.
Trying to just read what's going on here between Coach and JJ.
You got a gift, my friend, by the way, for lip reading. Haven't pointed that out yet, but I'm going to now. Misses them both. Rebound tip to McKee. And here comes Britton Wilson here. They kind of need that steady hand of Britton here.
They were working through their matchups and where they wanted to be. Now they've got them lined up, and there's an alley.
Nice play, Wollstonhume to McKee.
They couldn't get their matchups completely clean, and South Summit doing a nice job taking advantage. They're going to work this 1-3-1 that's lifted up by the three-point line, so it's not sitting back.
Apath Jang strong, rebound in the corner to Dang now.
That offside wing has to drop for a rebound, and it hasn't yet for South Summit.
Sacedo with the rejection. Lashy in the corner. Or excuse me, Sacedo was rejected. And now a good defensive play. South Summit with a chance to try and chip away again. Britton.
He's got a size advantage, but they switch over off of it.
Drives inside, give to Logan. Logan loses it with that length. Picks it up, turns, banks, can't get it to go.
The job of Dang and Pete coming together on that pushed Logan to move too fast. Even though he got fouled, he was just a little bit out of control. Here comes that 1-3-1. The backside does not drop for a rebound. Looks like it will this time.
No, McKee's got it.
And without Logan going down and boxing out, McKee doesn't get that board as easy.
Foul in the backcourt on Sacedo. And that'll be baseline out of bounds here for South Summit. 6:28 to go in the ball game, an 8-point lead for Judge.
Sacedo. Yeah, interesting on that replay. Watching him just jumping, trying to jam that in transition instead of getting back, getting that call. The 1-3-1, changing the momentum a little bit right here.
Lashy with it on the right side, gives Wollstonhume free throw line. Good pump, get to the rim. Logan, no. Rebound, fought for, it's loose. Sacedo's got it. That was well defended by Apath Jang.
He walled up in the air.
In the corner. 3, Peak, no. Rebound, Apath Jang sends back to Alor. Pumps, and Wollstonhume deflected it for a moment, but now Apath Jang resets.
We talked about that rebounding. If South Summit could keep leading the rebounding, it would bode well for them. They're not right now.
Alor, 3, no. Rebound, Wollstonhume, he's fouled on the board.
And that's going to go on Peak.
Peak's given him some great minutes tonight.
He sure has. I love the reset. We were in the bonus in the third quarter. Would have been,
yes.
We would have been in the bonus with the traditional, what we knew. But with the reset, we're back in, we're playing. Both teams going to have to work through where they're at and how those fouls come together. That's been a great rule adjustment. I wish there was a one-on-one.
I know you do. Drive from McKee. He's fouled hard. That's a good foul, in my opinion, by Peak. McKee, not your greatest foul shooter. You don't give him the easy bucket.
Well, you've got Ogbus there that can come back in for Peak. You've got Allure that's got a couple more. So, not like you said, not a bad foul at all. As they've done a great job of just keeping much easy from South Summit to get to the basket and just staying with it.
61% at halftime. It's not close to that in the second half.
No, they came out the first 2 minutes and it was looking good, and then Judge's defense has just gotten tough.
Give him a lot of credit.
Now, Judge has been in this spot. They've had a lead in the fourth quarter every time in this tournament, but JJ's always had foul trouble. I think he's only got one or two.
I think, yeah, it's not very many. Timeout to South Summit here. We'll take it real quick and be back on TeamHive.live and KSLSports.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back on in. Judge Memorial 60, South Summit 53. Tanner Wilkinson, Dustin Shakespeare with you through the rest of this one. Dustin, your thoughts coming out of the timeout?
South Summit struggled against this defense at Judge Memorial. Made it hard on them. They went to a 1-3-1. It changed the momentum. See how they go here. It looks like they will work in that 1-3-1 still. They put Lashy on the bottom, which gives them some length on that bottom. Oh, yep.
Yeah. It's definitely a foul. It comes late. That's going to bother South Summit, but 100% a foul.
Yeah, McKee just went ahead and pushed up on JJ and slapped down. Good call.
Third on McKee.
And so take a look and see if that continues to develop. I like the adjustment of putting Lashy on the bottom of this 1-3-1. He's got a little more length.
Ismail to inbound, gets it to Sacedo. 5:18 to go. Left side, Ismail has had foul trouble in the second half. Apakjang with it in the corner, wide open. Sacedo misses, Dang the rebound.
He doesn't miss off him. That overload got Sacedo the look they want in Ismail.
That's no good. Long rebound, saved right into McKee. Numbers chance here for South Summit. We'll see if they use it. Lashy attacks, Euros, fouled. And two shots coming here for Bracken Lashy, and that'll be on.
Oh, it's on JJ.
On JJ. See if this is. Oh, it's on Ishmael. They give that his fifth.
When I initially saw it, that's who I saw the foul on. But then JJ came around, and you and I both saw the same thing. I was like, that's because I was signaling to you. That's fourth or fifth. And then JJ came around like, well, but it was on Ishmael, and that's what we had seen initially.
Lashy to shoot two.
Down a shooter, and Ismail having a great tournament. Hate seeing him foul out. He's really had a nice one. Oh,
Lashy misses. Free throws haven't been kind to South Summit in the second half.
Well, he probably had line violated even if he had made it.
Got to do the old Tracy McGrady, take 2 steps back.
That's right.
One more here for Lashy. 4:51 to go. Can cut it to 6. Does.
Long 2-possession game, getting back at it. South Summit, this 1-3-1's helping them out. They're hovering the baseline guy over to JJ there. They're using an overload. They'll flash it over after they drop him to the corner. There they come.
Apakjang, ball faking. He's got Dang, hesitates, dribbles, sends to the corner. Sacedo, Apakjang pumps. Keeps those feet on the ground somehow and will reset.
All those head fakes allow the run 1-3-1 to reset.
Sends it over. The drive from Dang Dang. Blocked by Gage McKee. 4 on the clock.
Up there, just the 4. See what Coach Colvrat's got right here with just 4 seconds. They got a lot of time to do some action. It looked like to me they might go into this zoom action for JJ.
Apakjang pounds it. Pumps, sends it back with 4 seconds. Dang doesn't realize it. Sacedo doesn't realize it. Apakjang from midcourt. It's an air ball. And Coach Kalavrat is bit, and I would be the same way, Dustin.
He told him.
Yes.
He had him in place. He let him know. but they didn't check in that the shot clock did not reset right there. So big error.
Stop.
Big error right there with a long 2-possession game.
4:10 to play, 60-54. Britton on the right side gives to Harris. Harris goes inside McKee. Gage gives to Logan on the baseline now. Logan posting, spinning, shooting, scoring with the left hand.
How tough is that to come back up with your right hand to get yourself space? He went to 12 feet and then spun back to his left. That was beautiful.
4-point game, Apopjing. Handoff Deng. Turnover, Wolstenhume's got it. Got a 2-on-1. Britton, Logan pumps, shoots, and scores. 1-possession game, 60-58, 3:34 to go.
The lane running was a little bit off, but they were able to make just enough space up to get that one to drop to get us with this 1-possession game.
8 unanswered from South Summit. It's been a game of runs all night.
And having Ismail out of the game hurt that shooter, so when they've skipped, they've been in trouble. That's not it, though.
Saucedo, no. Harris taps it. Wolstenhume has it. Lashy corrals it.
All Summit Academy, or South Summit, South Summit coming after the ball. I got to get that fixed.
Hey, I've said Mid-Utah Radio Sports a million times this weekend when it has not, in fact, been a radio game. 2:59 to go. Britton out high. Shooting the rest of the way will be South Summit. Inside low to McKee. Gage back to Lashy. Bracken lobs again. A little bit crowded there. Back to Britton. 10 on the shot clock. Gives to Logan. Guarded by Dang. Logan faces, crosses, gets inside, takes the shot. They're going to say a travel on South Summit. It goes the other way.
Interesting. We haven't seen much of that called that way, and with the way travels are called, we don't know if that was a travel or not. You can give your take on if it was or not, but right there, good timeout.
Yes.
The reason I like the timeout is you could see mentally they didn't like the travel call, and so they were shifting right there. But guess who called it? It's Coach Colrat. So interesting. I thought that South Summit had called it, but instead Coach Colrat calls that one. He must want to get his guys together and discuss how he was this overload. So he's been overloading the 1-3-1, and he's gotten a couple looks. But the guy that they were skipping to on this side is Mashak Dang, and he's not the shooter that everybody else is. So he knows that, so he hasn't taken it. The other time they were able to get the ball to shift around, and they ran Saucedo for the first time from baseline to baseline corner. When they did that, then he came open, and he doesn't miss much. He missed that one. He won't miss another one like that.
2:40 to go here in the fourth. 60-58. Foul trouble. Really in a team sense here. Ishmael's fouled out. Yeah. South Summit shoots the rest of the way. They've got 2 to give.
If it was me and I was wanting, I would come out of that 1-3-1 for 1 possession because Coach Colrat spent a timeout here. He's down to 2. Both coaches have 2 timeouts left. He spent a timeout discussing how to break this 1-3-1. I would go man, let him forget, and then get back into that 1-3-1. Let's see what South Summit wants to do with it. Lashy's down on the bottom. It looks like they'll probably stay there.
Coming back.
The other piece at it, as they got it to move, but JJ used a million head fakes, and that allowed the run 1-3-1 to set back up.
Drive from Dang, up top Allure. Skip it right side, Dang. Saucedo running that corner. They give to Apopjang, up top Allure, back to JJ. Alp Akbus pumps, drives, sends to the corner. Now back up top, swing it. One more to the corner. No, it's Alp Akbus up top, defended really well. Fakes, back up, Apopjang, 3, no, rebound Lashy.
Love seeing a 1-3-1 move like that. It had some beautiful movement, the matching up, communication. That was fun.
Right side Lashy, 2-point game. McKee high, left side Boston. Pumps, gets in the lane, gives to Logan baseline, reverse, scoop and score, tied at 60, $1:47 left.
Logan finishes so strong, but the movement without the ball got him open on that drive. It lifted his guy. Nice job by Logan.
Apopjang with it. This 1-3-1 double. Alp Akbus, 3 for the lead. No, long rebound tipped. Boston's got it. Rips it away. Lot of contact. Saucedo lips it out. Alp Akbus got there. There's a jump or a foul or something. Nothing.
Oh my gosh. That was wild. They just sat back and watched it. Well, everybody's letting them know it, so now let's play. Got a minute left, tie ball game. Coach Colrat going to work the clock down a little low.
Saucedo, 3 for the lead. Buckets for Judge Memorial.
And I told you he wouldn't miss again. JJ get down in there and draw that. After the wildness, that 1-3-1 did not move the same.
Timeout to Coach Hayter. Let's talk, Dustin.
The
What we seeing?
3-point shot right there, and that's they've nailed it again. But you could see the 1-3-1 standing there as they dribbled up high. They didn't move. Saucedo able to slip over there that left wing as he drives. He draws the attention. Lashley had been out protecting, but he's up a little higher than the corner. So then it comes to the forward to do that. He doesn't do it. And man, Saucedo does what he does. Knocks another one down. South Summit here, you don't need a 3. You've got plenty of time. You've got 29 seconds left on the shot clock, so there's a 20-second differential. So you can go quick. You go quick, get a bucket, get a stop. The shot clock will help you, and then you can come back and win that game if you just get a 2. So easy game, play your game, run your high-low action, get some backside movement, see what you can get out of it. Looks like they've got a little spot of something on the floor.
Yeah.
They got to get off. Something must have spilled out from the crowd there. Yeah, it sure did.
50.9 on the clock. South Summit, 2 fouls to give, which could potentially be interesting depending if we get to that point.
That's a very good point. With those fouls to give, how do they do that? Because if they do want and have to get them to the free throw line, go there. So it gives them really a lot of freedom to go for the ball if they can get a stop here, or even not. They should be aware they can blitz that ball as hard as they want, and it's not going to hurt them.
Boston with the right-hand dribble now to his left. In the corner, trying to get that up to Harris. They do. Cam's got it. Back right side, Boston. 20 on the shot, 41 on the game. Boston will drive. Give to McKee. Gage pumps, puts it on the floor, will drive it and hammer it down with 35 seconds.
So
now you
no
got a
shot clock.
Now you got a foul.
You got a foul. You got to go for the ball.
Apopjang with it, fouled. And they have some to give here.
They do have some to give.
So one more to
you
give.
You got to know who you want to foul, and who you don't want to foul is JJ and Saucedo. Saucedo shoots 80%. JJ shoots 76. Everybody else is 62% or lower.
Yes.
So they've got to know who to foul in this situation. Not yet, because they've still got another one to give. So they can go after the ball.
Be aggressive,
Just blitz
yeah.
it. Yep, be aggressive.
Alpakbus to send it in. Trying to throw, gets to Apopjang. He'll give it high, and Alpakbus fouled by Wolstenhume.
So in that sense, instead of grabbing the back and around, just go and get through the arms, go after the ball, see what you can do. But now they will be at the free throw line as they don't have any more to give. Last night they used a stack right here with Saucedo in the back, the best free throw shooter, and he stepped towards and received the foul. They're going right back to it. Got both their best back there.
24.2, Alpakbus gets to Saucedo. Saucedo, foul called. That's a guy, and they're so good at getting it to him late.
Yeah, using that stack, and you just step forward right there. It looked like a little anticipation, nice little jump ball action, but Saucedo moved enough, got the foul, 80% free throw shooter. Like you said, they're so good at knowing to get him the ball in these situations. This could push it to a long 1-possession game if he makes them both.
First one's up, good. 64-62, 22 ticks.
So smooth. Nobody on the line right here for Judge, which is nice in a lot of ways, but it's just a 2-point game.
One more for Saucedo. Good. 65-62, 22 ticks.
Still don't have to have a 3 if you go hard and fast at the rim, but they're coming up with a little token pressure. Slows them down and get a timeout.
Timeout, Coach Hayter. 17.5 on the clock, 65-62. Want to ask your opinion on something, Dustin. Very still early for something like this to happen, but I'm going to ask you.
Under 7 seconds.
Okay, that's the answer. Yeah,
Finish your question.
You knew.
Finish your
Win
question.
the foul up 3, under 7 seconds.
So
Let's talk huddles.
Yeah, so Judge right there, they don't have a foul to give. But if for me, if it gets under 7 seconds, go ahead and foul. Your percentages go your way, that they'll make their free throws or miss, and you just have to box out. You just have to. It can be some pieces there.
Yeah.
But you box out, get the rebound, then you can finish. You can finish that if you're Judge. If you're South Summit, you can still just go hard at the rim. See if you can get an and one. But with Logan, get him going. Bring the key off the backside so he can help get the dump pass to him. or get an offensive rebound putback, but get him at the rim and see if you can get that. And then I think they do still have one timeout left. I didn't watch these guys because we were busy. I think they have one timeout left. Get the clock stopped and go there. If he does not have a timeout left, they've got to go for 3.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop that clock.
Yep.
But I'm pretty certain he's got one left.
Boston to inbound on the side. Gets it in Lashy. Comes off the screen from Wolstenhume. Lashy looks to attack. Harris for 3. Arcing shot, no. McKee taps it. Back to Logan.
They're looking for 3.
Logan for 3. In and out. Ball tapped. Loose ball. It comes down, and Judge Memorial is your 2024 3A Boys State Champions here at the Sevier Valley Center in Ridgefield.
3 ball. They knocked him down. Played hard. Did a great job.
Congratulations to Coach Kolovrat as his players swarm him.
Fun to see the excitement.
Yep.
Loving that. That was a hard-fought battle, and they were able to do enough. With that kick out, Cecedo knocks down another 3 and gives them that lead. Hits his free throws, takes control of it.
65-62 is your final. Judge Memorial, your 2024 3A state champions here at the Sevier Valley Center. What a tournament, Dustin.
It's been a fun
this
one.
Final Four for both the boys and girls, just spectacular across the board.
Yes, so good. Great ball games, and especially what you want out of a championship. One possession game. Came down to the X's and O's and execution. South Summit making an adjustment to the 1-3-1, brought them back to the game. They were down double digits.
Hey, shout out Utah
Judge takes control. They'd had a tough time finishing games. They didn't today.
No.
Stayed together, very strong, got it done.
Once again, final score, Judge Memorial 65, South Summit 62. South Summit is heading to the locker room. They're going to need to stay out to accept the trophy because that is a thing.
It's a good-looking thing, and it'll
Yes.
look a little bit better tomorrow. But
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in the moment it's tough to accept, but still, what a fantastic first season for Coach Norman Hayter.
oh, they've done a great job, and those players just did all they could, and that's what you love to see. You love to see the battle, and you love seeing a winner and a loser because you've got to work through that.
Yep.
It was a good job to battle for that and get that second place trophy. They played some great basketball.
Earned that number 1 seed for a reason, and they showed it all the way to the very end here in this state tournament. For Coach Hayter, it was interesting. I did their opening game up in Camas against Delta, and I had no idea there was a coaching change. We just, being a Central Utah guy, didn't get to see a ton of that, and he's done a heck of a job. As you see the crowd of Judge Bulldogs happy that they are your once again state champions, and Coach Calabret can add that to his resume as the students swarm on the court here at the Sevier Valley Center.
They were able to get a good student crowd down here, and they were able to cheer them on, do a good job.
Going back up to the hill. Have you been in that gym, by the way, at Judge?
Yes.
I
Yep.
never have. I've been to football. Football's incredible. Some of the best facilities in the state. The best view I've ever had doing play-by-play for a football game. But yeah, a historic place, a historic gym. I know that much about it. And now they get to hang another banner up there.
They do. They went to work. They executed so well.
Yeah.
And their bench play, and that's we talked about in the pregame. I felt bench play was going to make the difference. And Allure, Peak hitting a couple threes. I mean, they got the bench play they needed, and they were able to rotate and keep fresh. Ismail goes to the bench with those fouls. Matt Jack Dang steps in, does a nice job. He played hard for him.
Played within his role.
But you can't say enough about what Allure did off the bench for him. He really made a huge difference on what McKee could do.
And then hit the outside shots as well when needed in the first half.
And he did. He hit those threes. Nice job by Allure. He got 3 for 6. I mean, you're 50% from 3, and you're stopping McKee. That's some good basketball by Allure. Nice job. Let's take a guess how many threes they took.
Oh, boy.
This double half.
They take 43-point shots, Dustin Shakespeare.
They sure did. They took 43s.
Those are NBA BYU numbers right now. Wow.
Yeah,
that is impressive.
They just dominated that. They still were able to shoot from three 40%. 40%.
On 40 attempts.
On 40 attempts. That is, and you read the text. Can you shoot the three? Check. They shoot
No more questions asked,
No more questions asked. They shot that extremely well. They went to the line 10 times, got a couple of those fouls at the end to be able to get Cito just those two. And then they were able to change the rebounding. They ended up tying 26-26 on the rebounding. And realistically, coming out of half, we talked about it. I said, if South Summit can keep this rebounding lead, it's going to favor them very well.
Yeah.
They weren't able to. That's a 6-possession difference that Judge gave themselves. And when you're shooting 40% for three and you're shooting 40 of them, that 6 means a whole lot.
Oh, unbelievable performance. And Dustin, this was so fun, the coaching chess match as mentioned, and at the end of the day, Coach Calavrat stuck with his guys, stuck with their plan. We're gonna shoot threes.
He made a nice adjustment on that timeout where he started moving Cito to the corner from the left to the right, and that started shifting that 1-3-1 a little bit more. And then you notice where he went back to was that left wing, and when he was able to do that, he was able to knock it down. But had Coach not had him start moving, that three does not come open.
No.
And of course, there was a little other pause that took place, but that movement really made a big difference. A good adjustment by Judge to be able to do that.
Final score once again here from Richfield. Judge Memorial 65, South Summit 62. Other stats that stand out to you here from the Bradfathers' final sheet of the 3A tournament.
And we sure appreciate all he does right there. So you had JJ with his 25. Man, what a basketball player. And he had 9 assists. He almost had a double-double in assists and 8 rebounds. The triple-double was just barely off. He is one heck of a basketball player. Ishmael able to knock down 5 threes, getting 15. Dang, he got a couple. And Cito comes up with 11 as he was 3 for 7 and 2 from the line. Allure hit those big 3 threes, getting 9. He had 5 boards. And then AJ Peak getting his 1-3, knocking that one down. He had some big defensive minutes coming off the bench. He played more today in the championship game than we'd seen in the other 2 games. Did a really nice job. Going down to South Summit, played a heck of a ball game, a 1-possession championship game. We've got Logan Wolstenholme with 23 and 10 boards, so big double-double. He's 5 for 6 from the line. He's been so good from the line.
My goodness, just a junior.
Just a junior.
Gonna be back.
His finish is so strong, moves well, good stuff. Bracken Lashy, he's able to get 5 boards and 11 points. Cam Harris got 3. Gage McKee with 19 and 8 boards. Really nice game out of Gage. And just a lot of growth. Did an excellent job. Boston Wolstenholme with 4. And Mitchell Gimpler getting 2. And he had some nice first half minutes. Did a lot of good for him. And man, we talked about it in the pregame. You come down to a couple of those fundamental execution pieces in a 1-possession game. And the Judge Memorial Bulldogs able to execute that extra piece.
We're going to be doing, for the first time this year, pay attention, folks, with Mid-Utah Radio and Team Hive, we're going to be doing first and second all teams for the boys and girls, along with an MVP. Greg Sterner sent his votes in.
He's on it.
He's on. Yeah, Greg's always on it, though. Let's be honest.
Great
we
job.
love Greg.
Yes, we do.
Love being around you, Dustin, as well. It's been a fun season, a lot of good basketball. And just a great tournament. Yeah.
Let's talk about the seniors from South Summit.
Please do. Yes.
Let's identify who they are and the great work that they've done.
Ethan Atkinson, Britton Wolstenholme, Braden Oscathorpe, Bracken Lashy, Cam Harris, Mitchell Gempler, Gage McKee.
Just a whole slew of hard-working boys that have just put so much time in the offseason. They get into the season. We all know that takes a lot of work. They got themselves to the big show, and they gave us one. It was a heck of a ball game.
Absolutely. And how about this? Coaching change going into your senior year. Maybe roles are reversed from what you were expecting. Guys obviously bought in, even some of these seniors that didn't play. they're the practice guys. We talked about that in the pregame shot. How do these guys get better? You do it at practice.
You do it at practice, and you got to have that. And like you said, a lot of times you see those coaching changes shake up that senior class, but not this time. They came in and did an excellent job getting them to this game. They had that number one seed. Just a great season for South Summit.
Yeah, been very, very impressive. Big opportunity for Judge, and they seized it at the end of the day. Their seniors that will not be coming back next year won. And it was a guy Sacedo was a senior, 18 points a game. They're obviously going to miss that shooting out on the perimeter. Hit the go-ahead bucket here in the fourth quarter. And then also they had senior Jonathan Petra George, who obviously, again, a guy you're going to use in practice. He's as much a part of this. Again, highlighting everyone in the program at the beginning of these games is so great, symbolic, and important to do. And they say it takes a village. Well, it does also to run a basketball program as it does to raise a child. So big shout out to all these teams, all the great work they put in across the season. Just fun to be a part of the game of basketball, and I just want to express my gratitude.
I'm right there with you. Love to be a part of it, and I look forward to it every year. We'll be missing it. Thankfully, we get a little March Madness for a minute to kind of hold us over.
You read my mind, brother.
Dry.
Well, for you it goes dry. I like the NBA playoffs. I know you're not the NBA guy. That's okay. The Jazz aren't going to the playoffs this year, so I'll be the innocent bystander there. But no, my brother, it was fun and honor to be on the call with you,
hey,
Justin,
thanks,
as
Tanner.
always.
Love calling them with you, and we'll look forward to doing it again.
We got a lot of people to thank, so let's run down the list. Thanks to Dustin Shakespeare. Thanks to Rick Robinson, Greg Sterner, Dylan Douglas, our commentary team, A-team. Let's thank the production team. I'm going to end with Barrett this time. I started with him in the last game. We're going to end with him tonight to end this. Mr. Adam Coombs, producer and cameraman extraordinaire. Joe Williams, Cole Wissinger, Alex Doss, intern Kyler, the temp Jensen, getting it done. He still hates that I call him the temp, but I had to throw it in one last. He won't be my temp next year. He'll be a Snow College student, so he won't be temping for me anymore. But he's done a great job, and we love Kyler and appreciate him and all the good work he puts in. And, of course, can't end the night without thanking Mr. Barrett Hilton. You folks that wonder how Team Hive came about, gets done, it's Barrett. And if you see him and you know him, thank him, because Barrett's one of the best dudes out there. He and I enjoy a good lunch every once in a while, and the conversation is always good because Barrett is good, and everything he does and touches turns to gold. So we appreciate Mr. Barrett Hilton. Can't thank him enough. He makes this go round. He makes the broadcasting world in Central Utah go round, and that allows us to cover these great events with these schools. So a big shout out to him, and we appreciate you, Barrett. Let's wrap this up. Big thanks to Brad. Oh, how on planet Earth do you go through all that and not thank Brad James?
You got to make sure you got the Brad father there and follow him on X.
That's right. You're the first person to actually call it X, by the way, I'm pretty sure. Big thanks to Brad. Countless games, 22 different games that Brad has kept stats for over 3 days. 22 games that we've put on the air, and Brad's had stats for every one of them. He gives us a copy. He gives the other sports writers a copy. He gives the coaches a copy at halftime and postgame for every single game. And we just can't thank Brad enough.
Can't say what that does to make our broadcast so much better. It gives us accurate data to be able to work off of, and that's amazing to have the focus he does to be able to give us that data. For that long. Talk about stamina. You want to talk about player stamina?1let's talk Brad Father stamina, keeping these stats. Absolutely. So that does it, folks. The wrap on the 2023-24 3A basketball season. Your final score, Judge Memorial 65, South Summit 62. My name is Tanner Wilkinson. For the last time this season, saying so long and good night from the Sevier Valley Center on the campus of Snow College in Richfield.